Yeah, hey, drop.
Prime Coverage Sports Network. Real coverage, real conversation.
What's going on, everybody? It is a Tuesday evening. That means it is time for the Lockdown Coverage Podcast, live right here on the Prime Coverage Sports Network. New faces today. We got Kenny Casanova, a.k.a. Mr. Casanova. So, ladies, if you're watching in the show, normally you're here for me and Wegs. Today you're here for Casanova. And, of course, we got Sean joining us today. Sean and Kenny, welcome to the show. Wegs, as always, happy to see you, my guy. Hope that you are all doing well today. The NFL, guys. We finally got through the 1 week of Pro Bowl that I don't think any one of us cared about. If you care about the Pro Bowl, you came to the wrong place. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Nobody is with you on this. But now that means we're right down the barrel looking at the Super Bowl. We will talk about that coming up in just a little bit. So we're teasing you. You're not getting it right now. We're teasing you. We're getting it to you in a little bit. Instead, we got some things to talk about when it comes to the Hall of Fame. Last week, the issue was that Bill Belichick was snubbed. And then today, or yesterday, it came out that Robert Kraft isn't going to be able to be a part of the festivities at the Hall of Fame. Someone's got their speakers up too loud, guys. I'm sorry to tell you that. Someone's got to turn the speakers down. Oh, no, Kenny disconnected. Maybe it was him. He was having some issue. Auspicious start for Kenny over here. But, Sean, what are your thoughts on everything that's going on with the Hall of Fame? Keeping Bill Belichick out, keeping Robert Kraft out. What were your thoughts there?
First off, I was really surprised. I know everybody thinks of the Spygate thing. The first thing that comes to mind, I mean, yeah, it was cheating. I was one of those that was disappointed by it. But those two together, 6 Super Bowls won together, Brady and Belichick, it's kind of hard to discount that, don't you think?
I mean, yeah, it's super hard to discount all that. Wegs, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't know what they want. I guess they want to do a little payback for, Deflategate and all that other stuff. But, I mean, we talked about this last week. Belichick should be in. I mean, there's no better coach in the history of the NFL. And, they're just going to do this to pomp and circumstance. They just got to wait a year. I guess that's what's going to happen. But I understand with Belichick and Kraft, they're in kind of that special category. I did hear some of the voters wanted to give a chance to Kenny Anderson, Roger Craig, L.C. Greenwood, the guys that are maybe their last chance of those 3 contributors or coaches. So maybe that's it, but you'd think one of them would sneak through.
All right, so Kenny, as you can tell, we're talking about the New England Patriots. It seems like the Patriots dynasty has been shunned a little bit, right? I feel like it's easy to say they cheated, but Kenny, what are your thoughts here whenever it comes down to Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft being left out of this version of the Hall of Fame voting?
So not being a Steeler fan about this, I'm going to take that out of it, because as a Steeler fan, I'm ecstatic. But to take that away from that, it's a travesty, to be honest with you. I mean, if they're not first ballot, who is? Like, I mean, I just don't understand what's the criteria. I get you trying to let some of these guys get in the last ones, and I understand that from a sentimental perspective, but this is football. There's not time for emotions. I mean, the best of the best gets in. I mean, that's just what the Hall of Fame has always been about. If I have to think about it, then you're probably not a Hall of Famer.
Okay. On top of that, 31, playoff wins or 31 playoff wins, 17 division titles, all that. And who would have thought he had this much success after, his initial coaching tenure in Cleveland in the 90s?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to play devil's advocate, which you guys know I love doing. Whenever the argument is, let's look at that record without Tom Brady. Let's look at that record, with what it's been, after that chapter of his life. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I'm just, again, playing devil's advocate here. My biggest question to y'all would be, is there a scenario where it's, okay, Tom Brady, we saw one with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Patriots we're looking at right now are in the Super Bowl. They were able to go through a rebuild real quick Is this the reason why we can kind of discount? Maybe it was the player, maybe it was the organization more than it was the coach. And Kenny, I'll start with you.
All I'm going to say is look at Brady's first 3 rings and look at that defense. Look how they carried him all the way through the playoffs. All the way through. Even up until when they played against the Rams the first time when they were 10-point underdogs. They held that team to 17 points. I mean, this is Belichick. Belichick, if he doesn't know anything, he knows defense. And I heard Lawrence Taylor say, I was not sold on Belichick when I heard about him. But then when Bill Parcells told him that all the schemes you guys been running, they were designed by this man here, he said, I'm sold on him. That's all he needed to hear. And from there, he just took off. So even if you don't want to give him credit for the team, you got to give him credit for the defense. That defense, I mean, Hall of Famers everywhere on that defense. I mean, how can you not? I just don't see how can you not put him in. Even with the whole thing with, after the Brady era. I mean, he did get Mac Jones to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of tried to revitalize, but, hey.
From one Steelers fan to another, Richie Davis over on the YouTube channel saying, as a fellow Steelers fan, Bill should go in. I feel pretty deflated about it.
See what you did there. But Tip, let me say this: Vrabel is a Belichick guy, right? He's taken him in, and obviously they did have Mayo was a Belichick guy too, of course. But you could argue and say that same culture is carrying over now with Vrabel with the Patriots. So. And with Kraft, I mean, obviously he's the whole architect of the whole thing. He's the money guy. I don't know what's the deal, why they'd hold him out, but it's probably pretty atypical to have, an owner get in on the first ballot. But I don't know. But between the Giants, we said this last week, two Super Bowls for the Giants, 6 as a coach. Now as Vrabel's taking it, the Patriots in. He's a Belichick guy. It's just crazy. But hey, he'll have to wait till next year.
All right, Sean, we'll give you the last word on this topic. Bill Belichick not making it to the Hall of Fame. Are you going to come over to my side where I'm saying maybe it was all Tom Brady? Did we give so much credit to Tom Brady? Are you going to join me over here on the dark side?
Well, to tell you the truth, I think you can make an argument both ways. Every Super Bowl he won as a head coach was with Tom Brady, and there's no discounting what Tom Brady brings you. All those records he set. But at the same time, Bill Belichick's accomplished a heck of a lot on his own. He got the Cleveland job when he helped coach the Giants defense to that upset of the Bills in the Super Bowl in '90. Not so successful as a head coach with the Browns. A lot of people kind of turned on him when he spurned the Jets when he did back in the early 2000s when he took the Patriots job in the first place. So I can understand why a lot of people aren't on his side, especially after the Spygate thing. But overall, I'm surprised he didn't get in on the first vote, not just from the Super Bowls he won, because even with Brady, that's still 6 Super Bowl titles.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. But again, I just wanted to play devil's advocate, just throwing it out there, seeing if y'all want to run with it. You didn't like it. You threw it back my way.
Don't want to run with it, Tip. Sorry, buddy.
So our guy, Richie Davis, saying, off subject, James Harden is now a Cavalier. My guy.
Another new team?
My guy. This is football. We ain't talking about the NBA here.
Yeah, let's leave
this
the
is a
podcast.
Coverage podcast. We jettisoned that comment out of here. I wish I could delete it. I know there's a way I can do it, but I don't want to do it and seem mean. But nonetheless, okay. So we spoke about the Bill Belichick coaching tree. If I tell you that coaching tree has a record right now of 128 or 184 and 268, does that kind of play in it? Because we've seen the Belichick tree isn't great, especially you compare that to like other coaches of his, of that caliber. Whenever you look at other sports, we'll go to the NBA, Greg Popovich and all them. Look at the Greg Popovich coaching tree. Compare that to the Bill Belichick coaching tree. Again, like there's not really that much success there. And with Mike Vrabel being the only guy from that tree to make a deep playoff run, maybe it's more Vrabel than it is Belichick as well. You know what I mean? What do you think about that, Sean?
Well, I've heard more than once that some players didn't necessarily agree with what Bill Belichick was bringing to the table. It might be more of his assistant coaches than anything else. This is something I learned when I was, in my college hockey days. They didn't necessarily go to a school because of the head coach. they would go because of the assistant coach, what the ideas they preach, the scheme they preach. I can see that being more or less the same thing with Mike Vrabel and the rest of Belichick's coaches during his time.
What about you, Wiggs? What are your thoughts on that? Does that I'm trying to just get you guys to be like Bill Belichick doesn't belong. I need someone to buy the bait.
Well, tell me how many defensive coaches have won the Super Bowl anyway, right? So it's he's a defensive mind, and it's obviously his tree. We'll see if McDonald, who's not in his tree, can win the Super Bowl this week. But a lot of these guys now in the modern NFL, they're offensive minds. It's an offensive side of the ball that win more often than not. So I think that's part of the argument, not necessarily against him, but I think those guys tried to recreate the same culture he had where he didn't really care about he cared about the players, but he cared about the scheme more than players, and they couldn't do it. And so maybe that makes him, I think it's a mark for him, because in reality, he was able to keep that together for so long. Granted, Brady plays a huge part of it. You can't just replace Brady was able to take pay cuts for years so the defense and the offensive line could be really good. And then when you get to the other teams, when McDaniels tries to go and do his thing, he's trying to be an a-hole like Belichick, and it just doesn't work out because he can't just plug anybody in there. He's got the great one, behind center. But I don't know. You could argue either side. That was a good point, Tip. I'll go one step closer your way. I won't start running, but I'll take a step towards you.
Kenny, someone took a step with me. Are you taking another step with me, Kenny?
No, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I mean, listen, to me, the reason why the assistants weren't, as successful as, their predecessor was because you're not Bill Belichick. You're not going to talk to me the certain way. Like, I heard some of the stuff that these guys were telling these other players, like they were Bill Belichick. No, he can say that. He got 6 Super Bowls. He can talk to me that way. You are the assistant. You're not. You don't have no respect. You have to earn the respect of your locker room. You coming in like you're Bill Belichick off the cuff, it's going to rub people the wrong way when you're not Bill Belichick. I respect Bill Belichick. I respect what he's done in the league. You're a rookie head coach. How you going to come and try to act like you're Bill Belichick? You're not him. I don't respect it. And I think that's one of the problems that a lot of those assistants had was you're trying to run Bill Belichick's program, but you're not Bill. So I can't. Sadly, I can't take that step with you over there. I can't do it.
You know what? I'm steps ahead of everyone else. Wiggs is a few steps behind me, but he's one step closer. It's all good. This will be my crusade. I will carry you all along with me one of these days. I started the show the exact opposite way I wanted to start the show because I was sitting here thinking about the Hall of Fame the entire time, saying to myself, how terrible is it that the story that's going to surround the Hall of Fame is what happened to Bill Belichick and not, man, Drew Brees. What a career that guy had, especially the way that it started and how, the shoulder injury got him out of San Diego, then goes over to New Orleans. That's a history lesson for some of y'all. I'm sure you didn't know that part of it, right? Then you look at someone like Larry Fitzgerald. We can call these dudes certified, locked-in Hall of Famers. But Kenny, while we were getting ready for the show, brought up a great point. You can only have 5. There's currently 15 that are on this list. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, we know took up 2 spots. Wiggs, who else is going to make the Hall of Fame? Because I feel like my guy, I grew up watching him, Darren Woodson. I got to work with him whenever I was up in Connecticut. I got to hold a couple of the Super Bowl rings. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's going to be left out again.
He probably will. I'm sorry. I'm not a voter. I mean, I'm just saying he's a good player. I think obviously offense, it's an offensive league. So I think offensive guys are always going to get the first look. I think your Reggie Waynes or, Steve Smith probably will get a look this year. I mean, T Sizzle's on the list, Terrell Suggs. It's just a defensive player, but he had more sizzle than Woodson. And then obviously you've got the Eli Manning's sitting there too. I'm not a huge Eli guy, but the guy did beat our guy, our Belichick Tom Brady discussion. He beat him twice. So he's going to be sitting right there for it too. And obviously there's a couple other first-year guys I don't think will get in, Witten and Kuechly, but it's a stacked roster. That's why they have that senior guys and they drop out after whatever it is and can come back and make it when they were really great players and good people for the franchise.
It shouldn't. You got 3 Super Bowl rings. You shouldn't be the senior guy voted that gets in here. But nonetheless, I'll get off my soapbox. It's not about me right now. Sean, Frank Gore, Luke Kuechly, Terrell Suggs, Adam Vinatieri, Jason Witten, Eli Manning. I mean, there's a long list of these guys. Some of them are going to be left out. Who are you leaving out?
Well, as much as I liked watching Eli Manning play sometimes, I knew he wasn't going to get in the Hall of Fame right away. I just don't think he was good enough. The guy won 2 Super Bowls, and you can't just count beating Tom Brady twice, but his career record was 500, and this is also a very stacked class, as Wig mentioned. Who would I have being in the Hall of Fame this year? Probably Frank Gore, third on the all-time list. He's one of the best to ever do it. Adam Vinatieri, he should be in the Hall of Fame quite easily, being the all-time scoring leader in this league. And as also you said, Wags, kind of an offensive dominated Hall of Fame class. My other vote would go to Reggie Wayne and all he did over his career.
Okay. Wags, I didn't ask you who you thought was going to be in, so real quick before we get to Kenny, who do you think is going to get in?
I do think Reggie's getting in. I think Suggs is going to get in personally. They'll get a defensive guy in there for sure with the 2 locks, and then it's Vinatieri, huh? And Gore. I mean, I like Gore. He was like a vampire. The guy played till he was like 36 years old. He almost played as long as his son got in the league. But I don't know. I'm surprised Hines Ward didn't get in there too. So I'm going to throw in for Ward, even though I don't think he'll make it in. But I'd like to see him in.
These are guys who are probably going to make it in eventually anyway. It's just a matter of when. I
mean, we all said that about Darren Woodson, and here we are, the 18th season, waiting for Darren Woodson to make it into the Hall of Fame. I'm not going to get emotional. I will bring it on back. Richie Davis also saying Hines Ward not being in the Hall of Fame makes about as much sense as El Paso's city planning. If you don't know anything about the city of El Paso, we have a mountain in the middle of the city, so it's kind of hard to plan around that. Kenny, who's making it into the Hall of Fame, my guy?
Well, we got the 2 locks, Drew Brees, Larry. I'm going to say Reggie. I hope they don't do the Luke Kuechly thing. That's the one thing I'm worried about in this, the Luke Kuechly of it. I'm going to say Adam Vinatieri. And if you twist my arm, I'm going to pick Frank Gore. I think Frank Gore gets in. There's no way. Like I said, if I have to think about it, you're not a Hall of Famer. I don't have to think about Frank Gore. Frank Gore gets in. There's just, I mean, like Weg said, he played till he was a zombie. I mean, his son was almost in the league. Like, the dude was Iron Man. I mean, come on. I mean, there's nothing to think about here. The Luke Kuechly thing scares me. I just want to say that.
I don't think with this class you're going to get 2 defensive Hall of Famers. And whenever you put the 2 years together of Terrell Suggs and Luke Kuechly, Suggs' career, and again, don't get me wrong, Kuechly had a hell of a run. It was a great, 4 or 5 years, right? But Terrell Suggs, that entire career was just so much better than what Luke Kuechly's was. I'm surprised that I haven't heard any love for Jason Witten, one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history. Like how is he not even a part of this conversation, guys? Sean, you're hurting me as a resident Cowboys fan here. How is Jason Witten's name not even being uttered?
Like we guys talked about before, it's a pretty offensive heavy class. I think he'll get his spot eventually, but is he really a first ballot Hall of Fame guy? Possibly, because he's in the same conversation as Tony Gonzalez is with all the records he set. So I guess I wouldn't be surprised if he did get in. I just don't think he gets in this year.
I feel like if he didn't go play for the Raiders, he would have been a certain Hall of Famer over the last couple of years. Also, if he never went to ESPN, that's a part of my time where I wish I forgot, where Jason Witten was on Monday Night Football, arguably the worst broadcast of all time. He's zero personality from my guy Jason Witten. Okay,
well,
so
Chip, you just got to put out that video where he's running with the ball without his helmet on. Just plaster it across the internet the next 3 days. See what happens.
Oh, from that 07 season, I remember that. Steamrolling all those Philly players.
That's all you need. Also, the last time I had faith in the Dallas Cowboys, so that shows you a little bit of what they've done to me over the last 30 years. I was 11 years old the last time they won a Super Bowl. I'm about to be 42. This is insane what's happening to me.
You know who to blame, but you know who to blame for that tip. So it's simple. It's a simple equation. You got one problem there.
Vampires. Yeah, you said vampire. We got one owning the Dallas Cowboys right now. The vampire Lestat owns the Dallas Cowboys right now.
And he wants to retire with the most Super Bowls?
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
Oh, my goodness.
That was the straw that almost broke the camel's back. I was about to jump ship. I've said it a bunch of times, like I will never choose another team. I've been lucky enough to cover like the NFL draft and a couple of things like that, go out, see all that stuff and just wear the shield helmet, or the shield on my hat. I might just be an NFL fan. If Jerry Jones says one more dumb thing, which is going to happen, I just got to figure out what my line of demarcation is. Jesse Carter saying Witten is my favorite choice along with Adam Vinatieri. Witten is where I'm from, the back country of Tennessee, where Jesse Carter is from. Okay, so there's our Hall of Fame class. That should be a fun class. I think we can all agree it's deserving, right? Especially Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald. These are two of the greatest to have ever done it. Frank Gore you have to put in there because, again, the longevity. You need 3 yards, he gets you 3 yards. You need 4 yards, he gets you 3 yards. That's what was going to do his entire career. Let's talk a little bit about, though, some of the stuff that's coming up as we inch closer to talking about the Super Bowl here on the Lockdown Coverage Podcast. The NFL honors are going to be on Thursday. We have the comeback player of the year. We have the rookie defensive player of the year, the offensive rookie of the year, defensive player of the year, offensive player of the year, and the MVP. In the comeback player of the year, we have Christian McCaffrey, Aiden Hutchinson, Stephon Diggs, Trevor Lawrence, and Dak Prescott. Wegs, out of those 5 guys, who's it going to be?
It's going to be McCaffrey, although I don't think it should be. And I'm gonna get on Team Cowboys. Dak Prescott was incredible this year. I don't understand. He almost led the league in passing, and he isn't even close to being the favorite here. I mean, Lawrence had a hell of a year. Hutchinson, he was good, but not great. McCaffrey's an awesome player. We know that he was hurt last year, and he's been hurt before. He's an amazing player. He's in the MVP conversation, but Dak coming back, I don't know. I'd give it to Dak, but McCaffrey's going to win the award.
Kenny, are you gonna go show a little bit of love? You guys have been hating on all my picks so far. Are you gonna show a little bit of love to the Dallas Cowboys quarterback as well?
No. Listen, okay. I'm with Wags on this. I think it's gonna be CMC, but I have a different pick if I were voting. I would actually, shockingly, I'm gonna take Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence has had a great year. Under that Liam Cohen offense, this is the number 1 draft pick right here. This guy that played this year, I know they lost in the playoffs and everything, but the guy that played this year is the number 1 pick. And this is the guy that they thought they drafted from the beginning right here. This offense, it works for him. He balled out. He went up to Denver and demolished them at Denver. So, I mean, he had some great games, and they got really hot at the end there, But they just went against Josh Allen, of course, ran into Superman. But I would say Trevor Lawrence, a comeback player.
All right, Sean, we got 2 that say it's going to be Christian McCaffrey. I'm still leaning over. It should be Dak Prescott in my mind. He had one of the best seasons. I'm going to do the Kanye. I'll let you finish. I'll let you accept your award right now, Christian McCaffrey. But Dak Prescott had one of the best NFL seasons in NFL history. Sean, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't disagree with you on the front that Prescott had a great year. The only problem is because Dallas didn't have a great year themselves, he's not going to get the recognition he deserves. That's just kind of how it works for some of these higher profile awards, higher profile teams. McCaffrey is probably going to end up winning it again just because, he's a star in this league. He was healthy for the first time in God knows how long. But I'm going to agree with Kenny on that Trevor Lawrence should win it. He took 2 huge steps forward this year, led Jacksonville to a win in a really tough division that we thought Indianapolis would run away with, but then they just fell off the map completely. And, like he said, even though they lost in the first round, I think they got a bright future ahead of them.
if you look at the votes right now, Christian McCaffrey running away with it, 21 votes out of all of the NFL writers. And then Aiden Hutchinson somehow in second place, according to the NFL writers on NFL.com, with 6 votes. Stephon Diggs not getting any love. Trevor Lawrence not getting any love. Dak Prescott not getting any love. And
what about Phillip Rivers? What about Phillip Rivers? He made the comeback of the century.
That feel-good story for 2 weeks, right?
Well, I mean, we have seen stranger things where Joe Flacco wins comeback player of the year over DeMar Hamlin, who literally died.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yes.
That's true.
We also saw Joe Flacco make his first Pro Bowl. So we have seen some strange things.
Unbelievable.
Think about that. You're the Cleveland Browns. You fire Kevin Stefanski, and on your roster this year, you had 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks. And yet you still finish the season as the most Cleveland Browns way of all time. I love every bit of this. The purgatory that they must live in. Defensive Rookie of the Year, guys. I always find myself not caring about some of these awards, like Defensive Rookie of the Year. But right now, and I'm going to mess up some of these names because I am terrible at pronouncing names. I'm sorry, guys. Carson Schlesinger, Nick Emenwari, Abdul Carter, James Pierce, Xavier Watts. I'm not going to say that I watched every NFL game, so I am going to be the least informed person when it comes to Defensive Rookie of the Year because I've heard of 2 of these names because they did damage against the Dallas Cowboys. Someone inform me. Sean, inform me. Who should be the Defensive Rookie Player of the Year?
Well, Abdul Carter is the name that jumps out at me the most. To be honest, I haven't seen too much of them either, except for, what we've seen this year. I guess I'd go with Carter.
Abdul Carter. We got 1 vote for Abdul Carter. Kenny, who you got?
Oh, yeah, it's easy for me. The guy that's playing Sunday, Nick and Morty. Simple. I mean, this guy is literally a faster Kyle Hamilton. If you watch him play, literally guarding Puka Nacua on this play, guarding the running back out the backfield, then making a sack. Then I watched him bat 3 balls down on 1 drive and then walked over to Stafford and said, "Don't throw it over this way again." This kid is oozing with confidence. I don't understand how I could go to anybody else. I don't even know how the dude from the Browns, I'm messing his name up. How is he leading? I get that he led, in tackles and all that, but man, this guy's making big plays on a big stage. I mean, I don't know.
I guess that's where my issue with it as well is, right? Like the Cleveland Browns were a bad team, so their defense was out there a lot, which means you had a lot of opportunities to make tackles. The Seahawks, pretty good defense, but the Browns had one of the best defenses in the NFL this year. Wegs, who's your Defensive Rookie of the Year?
My Rookie of the Year is James Pierce because he had 10.5 sacks as a rookie, led all rookies in sacks, and they usually like defensive ends in this position. But I'm a gambling man. Side Action Podcast talks about gambling, and I do have a ticket on this man. But Schlesinger, all the odds are on Schlesinger. 150 tackles, multiple tackles for loss. My issue with giving him the award, he played with Myles Garrett, which we'll talk about in a second. I mean, of course, he's going to make some tackles because that guy's getting quadruple teamed. So I'd pick Pierce, but I do like Emenwari. He's really good too. But I think Pierce had the best year of this group, in terms of impact, 10.5 sacks.
There you go. So the one that's easier for me to keep up with is Offensive Rookie of the Year, just because fantasy football, you got to kind of keep up with all the rookies. I think we can all say disappointed by Ashton Genty this year. That might be the most disappointing rookie of the 2025 season. Offensive Rookie of the Year candidates include Tet McMillan, phenomenal season that Tet had in Carolina. I thought he was going to go to Carolina and just waste away. Bryce Young is actually maybe halfway decent. So maybe we got something working for him there. Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, Emeka Ibuka, and Travion Henderson. All those, I feel like each one of those guys made a hell of an impact this year. Like there was a while there where Emeka Ibuka was the most unstoppable wide receiver in the NFL, right? Like he was carrying the corpse of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the entire part of the season. But I feel like it's got to be Tet McMillan's award to win. Don't you think, Kenny?
Yes, that's actually because I was going to say, for the first about 6-7 weeks, I had Emeka Ibuka running away with the award. I had him running away with it. I mean, I was like, oh yeah, this kid, yeah. I said he's on his way to offensive rookie of the year. But then Ted McMillan just kept on moving along, kept improving, gotten better week by week. And now at the end, I think it's Ted for sure. I definitely.
Sean, who do you think it's going to be? Ted McMillan, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, Emeka Ibuka, or Travion Henderson?
I'm actually going to echo exactly what you said. I thought Ibuka was going to run away with it, especially with everything he was doing for Tampa, kind of keeping him afloat, really. But I think I have to go with McMillan, too. And I think Carolina's got a good thing going now. I think Bryce Young grew up a lot this year, largely thanks to him. So that's who I vote for. I got McMillan.
Are we going to make it a clean sweep, Wags?
I hate making a clean sweep because I just know the betting market. But yeah, McMillan's going to win the award. Ibuka hit the wall. What I would say is if they started Shuck like 4 weeks earlier, he probably would have won the award. He played great down the stretch. That team surprised everybody as they finished. And obviously, I think a lot of voters are going to be like, if I pick Tyler Shuck, like he's not going to do anything in 5 years, I'll feel stupid. But he played great, and his team needed it. So I think impact-wise, he actually made the biggest impact, but McMillan's going to win the award, and he had the most consistent season overall.
Between the Benches podcast saying also bet the clear Gatorade. Ooh, I don't know about that one. I don't know.
We'll talk about that. I don't believe so. I know that's my co-host Dalton. I don't think so, pal, but okay.
Whatever he's drinking, he needs to pass it along our way, guys. Okay, so defensive player of the year. I think we can all be unanimous and just say, let's give it to Myles Garrett. When you lead the league in sacks and you are that awesome. And again, I get it. Michael Strahan didn't like the way that oh God, who was the quarterback? I can't think of his name right now.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, where he just falls down and is like, oh, here you go, take the record. I'm fine with it. A record's a record. I'm happy with it. Myles Garrett is, without a shadow of a doubt, the defensive player of the year, right, guys?
Yeah. But didn't Brett Favre kind of do the same thing with Strahan? Almost, in essence, let him get the record all those years ago. So who's he to judge?
He can't really say nothing.
He did
exactly. Who's he to judge?
Yes.
I mean, it's easily, but I think that's the thing too. Like, I know they interviewed Strahan right after Myles Garrett wins. And he's like, oh well, I have the record for 16 games.
I remember that.
Yeah,
it's like those old heads, man. It's like, you know what? Whenever there was a 12-game season, I was the man.
Sure.
Offensive player of the year. This is what I don't think is going to be as cut and dry as some of the other ones are. Jackson Smith-Njigba, Christian McCaffrey, Puka Nacua, Bijan Robinson, Drake May. These are your 5 finalists that you have right now. I don't feel like any of these guys have really separated themselves from each other. This is just going to be great to watch. Like, and again, right now the odds are leaning towards Jackson Smith-Njigba. Wags, who you got?
Look, I think Puka deserves. This is my whole thing's the same. I'll tell you who deserves it and who's going to win. JSN's going to win. I don't say I don't know why. He led the league in receiving and he was amazing, but when I watch Puka, I mean, that dude makes play after play, the one-handed catches in traffic. He's just a tough runner. Not that Njigba isn't either, but I think Puka should win, but JSN. And I will tell you, next year, Bijan Robinson will win this award. He's going to have a better offense. He's going to win this award. So I'll put it on the board right now.
We're going to clip it right now. That's going to go in. We're going to hold that in. And if it doesn't happen this time next year, we're just going to laugh at you.
Going right back to it.
That's fine.
All right, Kenny, who you got? Jackson Smith-Njigba, Christian McCaffrey, Puka Nacua, Bijan Robinson, or Drake May?
Not Drake May. This one was tough for me because I think it probably will be Jackson Smith-Njigba, but I wanted to give it to Bijan Robinson, to be honest with you, this year. I don't want to wait. This kid, I mean, everything, whatever you need, out the backfield, running just up the gut. You need me to hit the outside, I can do that. Whatever you need him to do, man. I think he's so versatile, man. But I think it is going to go to Jackson Smith-Njigba, which I don't want to rain on this parade because I think he deserves it too. But I think I've seen Bijan do some things that remarkable, man, on the field this year.
I've got to walk back a comment I said earlier where I said this is going to be a super close race. This can go to anybody. I don't think it's going to Drake May unless Sean maybe. Are you leaning towards Drake May?
No, I'm not.
I don't know.
You probably didn't think I was. As for who I do think it is, I think it's a two-person race personally between Jackson Smith and Jigba and Puka Nacua. I'm giving a little love to JSN because he was a big part in helping me three-peat in my fantasy league this year, being the league's leading receiver and everything. But I also have to give love to Nacua like Wakes did because he just knows how to make a play in a clutch situation. He was as clutch as anybody I've seen in the league this year. But because of what JSN did this year and who he's representing, my vote goes to him.
Yeah, I think we're unanimous on this as well. Like, I think it's got to be Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like, everyone here except Drake May is very deserving of being on the list, right? I feel like if you're going to have Drake May on this list, you need to have Matthew Stafford on this list ahead of Drake May, but I'm just some guy. What do I know about anything, right? Or maybe, hell, even Dak Prescott, who, whatever. We're not doing this anymore. No more Dak Prescott talk. Jackson Smith and Jigba was without a shadow of a doubt the best wide receiver in the NFL this year. But, man, Puka Nacua gave him a run for his money. And we were so lucky in that NFC Championship game to just watch both those quarterbacks going back and forth with each other, both those offenses going back and forth with each other. But, again, Jackson Smith and Jigba, that's going to be my guy to win the Offensive Player of the Year because they can't give it to Dak Prescott because whatever reasons, right? Now, I think we're almost unanimous on this as well, but I feel like the end of the season might have brought the voting back down to earth a little bit for the most valuable player. Matt Stafford, Drake May, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Christian McCaffrey. Sean, who's our MVP of the NFL this year?
I think it's Matthew Stafford. Leading the league in touchdowns this year, keeping the Rams in it all year long. That offense is really good. The Rams are as well-run a franchise as anybody. And if they know how to do anything in this league, it's put together an offense. And I think we'll talk about more about these assistant coaches and everything soon enough. But my vote goes to Stafford. He's accomplished a lot in his time in this league, and he comes from a good coaching staff. So I pick Stafford.
Wags, the end of the season, the Rams kind of limped into the playoffs there. They were the number one seed. Looked like they were going to run away with it. Came back down to earth. Matthew Stafford still your MVP?
He is. Part of it's a bit of a lifetime award, right? Because he's got to win one, and he deserves it. He had an amazing season. I think May's going to get his shots in the future. He'll get another shot. So part of that, to me, when you look at it, I'm not a voter, but think about the voters. How many more chances is Stafford get a chance to win? This is his chance to win. He didn't make it to the Super Bowl. Would have been a nice kind of send-off story if they won the Super Bowl. So I think for sure he's going to win. May's a great player, and he had a great year, but that soft schedule is going to hurt him in this one. So I think Stafford will win.
Kenny, can I convince you? Let's jump off of the Matt Stafford bandwagon. Can I convince you?
No, it's going to be Matt Stafford. It's a sweep, clean sweep here. It's going to be Matt Stafford. The only person that to be honest with you, that to me is second in here, I'm going to say it again, Trevor Lawrence. I just really liked how he played this year. I really did. I liked how he played. I liked how he finished the year. But this is a Matt Stafford award. The numbers speak for itself. It's not close. But I guess with the team, kind of limping in, it bring it back down to, it may not be unanimous, but it should be close too.
If Jacoby Myers would have been a Jacksonville Jaguar to start the season, imagine what Trevor Lawrence's numbers would have been. But I agree with you guys. It's Matt Stafford, man. And Wags, you hit the nail right on the head. That's one of those lifetime achievement awards. How good has Matt Stafford been for such a long time? He was the only reason why the Lions were relevant for the better part of a decade and a half. He goes to the Rams, wins himself a Super Bowl. They were, and I still say this, I think I said it a couple of weeks ago, Wags, the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then. That's the only reason why I feel like the Rams are not in the Super Bowl right now. I felt like all year long they were the best team in the NFL, and it's just best team, best quarterback, that's normally who wins the award for the MVP.
Hey, by the way, you didn't list Coach of the Year on your list, so is that worth talking about or not? We already know who's going to win.
Let's do it. I think that's one hell of a conversation to have as the Coach of the Year. So, Wegs, enlighten me, because I didn't see it here on the NFL Honors page. Enlighten me who are our candidates for Coach of the Year.
I'm pretty sure Vrabel's the lead candidate. McDonald's in there. Shanahan for San Francisco. My guy, Ben Johnson, and Liam Cohen. Those are kind of the top guys. Maybe a couple other people in consideration, but those are the top guys.
I mean, you look at all those names, right? And Liam Cohen, to me, should be the guy. I also like Kyle Shanahan. If they gave it to Kyle Shanahan, the fact that he was able to get the 49ers and that roster, what was left of it, it was like us out there playing for them, right? Like they were able to make it to the playoffs and actually beat the Philadelphia Eagles, thank you, and do some amazing stuff. But you look at that whole list now. Who's your guy, Wiggs? Who's going to be?
Look, I know who's going to win. It's going to be Vrabel. I don't think he should. And this year, it's my guy Ben Johnson. I mean, this guy had this team. We sucked. I mean, I'm a Bears fan. We sucked. This guy's ripping his shirt off in the locker room. His team is going crazy. Came back obviously 7 times, which is miraculous. Won a huge game against the Packers. Had the Rams on the ropes. I know that it's a regular season award, but still, I don't know. You can't capture a city that quickly usually. Vrabel did have a tough situation, obviously a losing team, but he stepped into a situation where, in theory, a known commodity with Drake May, whereas Caleb Williams need to get turned around. So I love Johnson for the award. He won't win. Vrabel will probably win the award.
Kenny, who are your thoughts here on the Coach of the Year? Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, Mike McDonald, Kyle Shanahan, Mike Vrabel.
Vrabel's probably going to win it. I think it should be Liam Cohen.
You have a Jacksonville jersey under that shirt?
I don't. I don't like it today. What's wrong with me? I feel like I'm just Jacksonville. But no, I just like what Liam Cohen came in and did. I mean, look what he got Trevor Lawrence looking like right now, man. We ain't never seen Trevor Lawrence play like this. Even when they went to the playoffs a couple years ago and came back from 20, he threw 4 picks in that game. Mm-hmm. I mean, the way I don't know, man. I liked how Liam Cohen came in and rah guy. He was ready to fight him and Robert Saleh. Look out for that rivalry right there. He was rah. He came in with that energy, and it permeated through the whole team, man. And they caught fire, man. And I feel like down the stretch, Jacksonville was a scary team.
Wiggs, I feel like Kenny has been watching some of my shows, because on my shows I say that everyone's second favorite team, like whether you know it or not, you're adjacent to my show. Your second favorite team is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They've sent me to London. They've done a lot of good things for me. So the Jacksonville Jaguars, thank you so much. I got number love for you. Give you a little bit of heart.
The London Jags. They're going to relocate some point.
Likeliest.
All right, Sean. So who do you think is going to be our Coach of the Year? Is it going to be Vrabel? I don't feel like Vrabel should be the guy.
Well, it's probably going to be Vrabel, as you guys said. Turning around that New England team, seeing all that Drake May did this year, it's more than just what May did. It's all on coaching. It's hard to discount, especially when somebody other than Bill Belichick brings the Patriots to the Super Bowl. But let's not discount what Cohen did in Jacksonville, like you said, Kenny. Fabulous job by the Jags this year. They're going to be contenders for years to come. And I want to give a shout-out to Ben Johnson, too. That Detroit coaching tree was a good one. It's amazing what Johnson did. I mean, all those comebacks they had this year, the development of Caleb Williams, who did a complete 180 from a year ago. If it weren't for Vrabel leading New England to the Super Bowl, Johnson might have gotten a little more love and a little more consideration. It's probably going to be Vrabel for that reason, though. So, but I think Cohen and Johnson would be deserving.
Conspicuous by the absence is the other guy in the Super Bowl, Mike McDonald. Why aren't we giving him any love? His quarterback is Sam Darnold. And I guarantee you, whenever you saw that the Seattle Seahawks signed Sam Darnold, you thought to yourself, they're not doing anything this year. That team is just bailed on the season. They're just not going to do anything. So to take Sam Darnold and what we remember the corpse of Sam Darnold being and getting that to a Super Bowl, why is he not getting any love here?
Great question. They did win 10 games last year. Just remember that. So it's the differential. They won 4 more games than last year, which is great. They won a tough NFC West. I do think Clint Kubiak will probably win assistant coach of the year. That's not on our list, but he's obviously the offensive coordinator. Now he's the coach, as we'll talk later. He's the Raiders coach. So I think he's going to get his love. Look, he's a great coach. He wins a Super Bowl. Everybody's going to be talking about him like, oh my gosh, he's like outsmarted all these offensive guys to win the Super Bowl. So he should get the love. I just think it's the differential. The turnaround story is the big difference.
Okay, so I want to break this down now in the next 5 minutes or 4 minutes and some change. A lot of stuff happened with coaches, guys. I got a little too wild here with the NFL Honors Awards. We went too long on that than what I wanted to. So let's go over some of the coaching hires that we have here. The Cardinals hire Mike LaFleur, formerly the Rams OC, not to be confused with Matt LaFleur over at Green Bay. The 49ers hire Raheem Morris as their defensive coordinator. Probably not a big deal there. The Dolphins hire Sean Duggan as their defensive coordinator. The Rams, we mentioned it right now, Wags, might be hiring Clint Kubiak here, which I think would be great. Or not the Rams, the Raiders rather, will be hiring Clint Kubiak here. Let's talk about that Las Vegas Raiders team. Kenny, what are your thoughts on them in that hire?
I love it.
Potential hire. I can't say hire yet. Potential.
Let's say if it happens, I love it for them. I love it for the organization. I love it for Mendoza because that's clearly who they are. It's the consensus is that's who they're going to go with. So for him to come in and get into that quarterback-friendly offense, I'm not going to say let's just say the Raiders will be competitive. I will say that. I think if they do that, they go after George Pickens. I say throw the bag at George Pickens.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
That's a Cowboys guy right now.
I know you're a Cowboys guy, but y'all not paying him. Y'all not going to pay him, man. Jerry going to play around. And just let that kid go get paid. Because the Raiders is like, I got 40 M's over here per year for you. Come get it. And I think he'll go out there. Him, Genty. I mean, let's just hold the phone on the Raiders. But I love that hire if it happens.
If. The big caveat there. If it happens.
Yes.
So on my shows, I have a thing called the bench. And whenever someone says something I don't like, I normally put them on the bench. Kenny, you were that close. We're not getting rid of George Pickens. It's not going to happen. I'm putting it out there now. There might be benchings in the future now that I've introduced it. There might be bench. I will bench myself too. Don't worry. I will bench myself too. Sean, what are our thoughts here? Because I think that's a great hire by the Las Vegas Raiders. You got to do something, right? You've got to go out and make a splash. You have the number 1 overall pick. You're more than likely going to go out there and draft Fernando Mendoza. A lot of pressure going to be on that number 1 pick right there for the Raiders. You've got to have the right coach here. What are your thoughts on the potential hire of Clint Kubiak to the Raiders?
Well, we all know Kubiak's coaching royalty. We know where he comes from. Kubiak was here a number of years ago with the Vikings. He helped open up a number of things for Kirk Cousins when he was running the offense here in his earlier days. I like the hire a lot. The Raiders clearly needed to start over. They were clearly in a mess. They've got some pieces in place already. You got Gianti in the backfield. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. When Mendoza comes on board, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion he's going to be drafted first overall. So it's a perfect time to develop a team from the ground up like this. Gianti's young. He's got a career ahead of him. Mendoza will be coming on board. Kubiak, who's had a degree of success already. I think they're setting up for something good. They need a little bit more help on the offensive side, but that's a tough division they're competing into. So don't expect this to be an overnight turnaround for them, but we'll see a competitive Raiders team in the future before long.
They're going to be fun to watch. I think that's going to be the main thing here is they're going to be fun to watch. And let's not forget, maybe this will be the thing that allows them to keep Brock Bowers around. That's going to be fun for them as well.
Yes.
And every young quarterback needs a tight end as a safety blanket. That right there is a great safety blanket to have. Wags, what are your thoughts on the potential hire of Clint Kubiak to the Las Vegas Raiders?
Well, the Kubiaks are known for run games, right? They're known for play action passing, and this is great for Genty. They got to upgrade the offensive line to make that happen. And so I do think it's going to be a good hire, but as we see the comments, they're screwed for years. The bottom line is it's a tough division. You still got the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos. They're at the bottom, but hey, they get to play that last place schedule. You see what can happen. Patriots, Bears, teams that kind of take advantage of it. So I like the hire for them. But, yeah, like I said, offense really rules the day. Almost every team with an offensive head coach, they usually do well quickly or they do really poorly and get fired.
All right, so those are our thoughts on Clint Kubiak to the Raiders. Real quick, any of the coaching hires out there of the other ones that we've seen that have kind of surprised y'all that you're like, man, that's going to really benefit this team? Sean, I'll start with you.
I like what Arizona did, bringing on LaFleur. When you're a LaFleur, you're a good offensive mind, and Arizona was kind of on the disappointing side of offense this year. The 2-0 start before only winning one game the rest of the way. They compete, obviously, in a really tough division now, too, as we saw this past year. They've got a long way to go themselves, but I think this is a good first step for them.
Wags, what are your thoughts as we get a comment here from Justin saying Mike McDaniels is a Charger OC?
Yes, he is. That's a great hire. I do think some of those are kind of underrated because they're flying under the radar. There were some big pickups all across the board. Raheem Morris to 49ers is a good hire. But in the head coach's ranks, when you look at kind of top to bottom, I kind of like the Ravens, even though it's a defensive coach. I kind of crap on those so far. They picked up our guy, Declan Doyle, who's under the Ben Johnson tree, which is going to help them on offense, and Weaver, who kind of had the defense going in Miami. So I think their team's going to be pretty good next year.
Kenny, what about you? What are your thoughts?
So one of the ones that's probably going to get laughed at that I'm going to say, because I like the combination of these two. I like the Robert Saleh hire with Tennessee with Brian Daboll coming in there as the OC. I think that is perfect for Cam Ward and everything like that. They get some weapons around there and really develop him and put him in the right kind of easy offense. Like Brian Daboll, his offense is pretty simple. It's not like it's a complex scheme, and that's good. You know, sometimes when you're a quarterback like Cam Ward, you need simple stuff. Just simple plays. And ain't got to air it out and show off my arm every play. That's what I feel like I seen from them all last year.
All right, guys. So those are our coaching hires. I think now is a great time to finally get into it. February 8th, Super Bowl 60. We're looking right at it. One of the best days and arguably one of the worst days of the year, because after this, no more football until August, at least football that matters. I don't care about the Pro Bowl. I don't care about the XFL or the UFL, whatever the hell it is. None of that until we get back again. The Seattle Seahawks going up against the New England Patriots. If I would have told you at the beginning of the year that this was going to be your Super Bowl matchup, you'd have laughed at me. And I probably wouldn't have blamed you. I should have been committed, and I must have been on some sort of drugs to have thought about this. Wags, who is going to win the Super Bowl? Who is going to win the MVP?
Great question. Seattle is a 4.5-point favorite. I know you guys don't think about betting, but I do all the time. So I do think Seattle wins the football game. There's a couple key matchups here that I want to highlight. The run defense for New England is very good. So that's going to be a huge matchup. Can Seattle still run the football, set up play action pass? Because if they have Darnold throw the ball 40, 45 times, I don't like that for Seattle. So that's a key matchup. Also, the New England offensive passing game against Seattle's defensive passing game, which that's kind of strength on strength for the most part. I do think Seattle's going to do what Buffalo did in the second matchup. They do cover 6. They're going to do a specific coverage to kind of slow them down. And unless Drake May beats them with their legs, because I think he's going to have to do it. The other factor is May is great against the blitz. So they've got to play 4, down linemen in terms of Seattle. They can't be blitzing him because he feasts off of that. Either way, I think Seattle wins the game, but I do like New England to cover the 4.5. I do expect, if you like New England on the points weight, I think that people are going to bet heavily to the Seattle side, so you might get a better number later. And unfortunately, MVP, because I've already got a ticket on Jackson Smith and Jigma for this 17-1. I do think our guy, the redheaded fireman, as you called him a couple of weeks ago,
Lego
Sam Darnold will be your MVP. Your Lego fireman, that's right, will be the MVP this time with Seattle winning the game.
Justin saying, come on, bro. Football all year round. The UFL is slept on. The CFL is fun and unique. Football never ends. My dude, I'm in Texas. Trust me, I know football never ends. But I am not watching any of that stuff. Like, it is just not going to happen. I'll leave it up to y'all. You can come on the show. You can talk about the UFL all you want. I'll give you a segment all to your own, because we're going to be struggling after the Super Bowl, mainly because
we'll talk about the draft. We'll talk about the draft too.
Yeah, coming up for sure.
Football will be living on with us, that's for sure.
Kenny, who's winning the Super Bowl? Who's taking home that MVP trophy?
Well, I got Seattle 35-21. I think it's going to be a pretty
Easy
Ooh.
cover. Easy cover.
I think it's going to be a pretty decisive win. And I got Samuel L. Darnold, like I like to call him, for the MVP.
Royale with cheese with that. Royale with cheese.
I got the nickname, so I had to create one for Samuel L. Darnold. So yeah, that's the MVP.
He comes up with Samuel L. Darnold, but couldn't come up with Casanova when it's in his name.
I know, right?
All right, Sean, who do we got? Who's winning the Super Bowl? Who's taking home that MVP?
I also have Seattle. Seattle, their pass rush has been excellent all postseason long. The pressure rate they put on Purdy and Stafford was a big part of their success. That front seven of Seattle is terrific. And on top of that, New England does not have the best red zone offense in the NFL. I think they're ranked 22nd in the league, and that's not going to bode well when you're going up against a defense like theirs. They'll keep it competitive, but I think Seattle wins at 27-17 in the end. And my MVP for the game is also going to be Sam Darnold. I think he throws a couple touchdown passes, 250 yards, and gets that MVP award.
Mireya Reyes asking, what is Michael Robert Tipton drinking? Right now, it's just Dr. Pepper. Earlier is a completely different story. Shout out to Woodford Reserve, unofficial sponsor of the show, of my shows, not this show. This show is all professional. They're not dealing with any of the nonsense that I got to deal with. Okay. Guys, I don't like what we're doing here.
I don't either.
We're going to go unanimous.
You got to bet on the Patriots.
Well, remember what happened the last time the Patriots were an underdog in the Super Bowl? They were 14-point dogs to the Rams, and look what happened. Yeah. Don't discount them.
It's 70% of the bets are on Seattle and 70% of the money, which means you probably should bet the other way. But go ahead, Tim. What do you think?
I might put a little flyer down. I mean, I'm in Texas. I can't do it, but I might find a way to put a little flyer down. Mexico is just right there, like literally right there.
So you know a guy in Chicago. Don't know,
There we go. I found loopholes. I shouldn't do this on a live show that's going to be on the internet forever. But hey, this is the way that we're doing this stuff here. Justin saying, waiting for that Ramondre Stevenson fumble game. This could be it. I've been waiting on the schedule to catch up to the Patriots. Week schedule. Again, you got to play the games that are put in front of you. They did what they had to do. You get C.J. Stroud in the playoffs. Not the best quarterback to get out there. You get a Broncos team that I all think if they had Bo Nix, we all think that could have gone a different way. Instead, they get Jared Stidham, and they find a way to sneak out 10 points. They get themselves a win there. I feel like
you have to be fair about the weather too. The weather played a huge factor in that game, especially in a lot of what Denver did late with their their coaching.
Both teams had to play in that weather, and all you needed was 10 points. And again, Jared Stidham looked like he was a Hall of Fame quarterback on that first drive, and then it reminded us all that he was Jared Stidham. So, like that happened. I feel like we're getting. They're finally going to get a good team that I think we can all say is, if not the best team in the NFL, one of the best teams in the NFL, especially that defense that the Seattle Seahawks have. I was about to call them the Seattle Supersonics. I'm old.
It's okay.
That offense, again, like I thought this game against the Rams, they would miss Zach Charbonnet. They didn't, right?
I did too. I thought that was going to be a factor.
Here's the thing. Can Darnold play mistake-free? They've got 0 turnovers in 2 games, right? Obviously, all regular season, they were -3 in turnover differential. Darnold himself had 20 turnovers. That's the big thing. I mean, if they play turnover-free, they're going to win. But if he turns the ball over a couple times, it's going to be interesting. I mean, New England was +3 on the year for turnover differential, but they're +3 in the playoffs, even though they've given the ball away 5 times. So,
well, on top of that, Darnold is most successful when he doesn't have to do too much. But he played lights out against the Rams. So whatever version of Darnold shows up, the good or the bad. But one thing's for sure, he didn't see nearly as many ghosts this year or in the playoffs. He was one cool customer.
All right, guys, we got less than a minute to go right here in the show. Kenny, where can everybody follow you? Plug a couple of your shows, guys. Kenny, you're going to start off.
Got it. The Renegade Rundown Tuesdays and Thursdays on YouTube. You can catch me on there. You can catch me floating around on PCSN always. So, and on Facebook, Kenny Casanova. You can catch me there too.
All right, Sean, let's go.
All right. I can be found on Facebook, on Twitter, or Instagram. I can share my socials with you guys, maybe even beginning next week. I'll send them to you as soon as I can.
Wegs?
Follow me at Wegspool, Instagram, X. Follow Kenny and I are both. Like, you didn't plug the show, dude. We got PCSN on Friday night. We got the, college. We got primetime college hoops on Friday nights, dude. Don't forget about that. And then I'm on the Side Action, which is my own show on Thursdays, which is gambling for the NFL and college basketball.
And then y'all can catch me weekly as well with Fire and Ice. I do that every Saturday from Buffalo Wild Wings here in El Paso. Shout out to Buffalo Wild Wings for being a tremendous sponsor for all the stuff that I do. The Tipton Sports Broadcasting Network or at Mr. Tipton 33 on all social media. Guys, what a hell of a show. I appreciate y'all for being here. Good luck to everyone that's betting on the Super Bowl, and I can't wait to talk to y'all next week.
What a great show. Very, very fun debut for me. This was a lot of fun talking football with you guys. One of my favorite things to do in the world.
Right.
Way to go, Sean. Way to go, Casanova. Good job. Good appearance. Good job. We need a nickname for you too, Sean.
My nickname was Shindig in high school. Do you want to come up with something else, or I'm okay with that one?
I'm good with Shindig, and I think that's a great one.
We roll